Welcome to Coffee and Pizza. I hope you can enjoy.
And today we have the pleasure to keep here one of my favorite, or maybe one of the very interesting person, Ryan Williams from Australia. Welcome to the channel, Ryan. How is going on? What are you? What are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me, buddy. It's good to be here.
Okay, then one of the things of I was trying to explain to the people is like, one of the things why I want to keep you here is like because I was reading your LinkedIn things and starting out about you a little bit, because doing a little bit of synth, we can say, over. And I was thinking like your profile is very interesting, and you work in cybersecurity for several years, and you have experience in a bunch of things. You do like hardware hacking, you do like software hacking, and many stuff. And one of the things I want to know first of all is like, where are you from?
Okay, so I've always hacked. I've hacked since I was really young. Like, my old man worked in a telco and got me a Commodore 64 when I was about 4 or 5. So I like started, playing with BASIC and all that sort of stuff many moons ago. But you got a second line at home, and I managed to, I don't know where I actually came across it, but remember the dialers? You would just dial number, like looking for a modem to call back. Yeah, so when I was about 11, I managed to find a bulletin board service, and it just went on from there. So, text documents, and then, if I hadn't discovered that I was really awesome at music, I could have had a very different life. But music kind of saved me from a life of being stuck behind a computer, I guess. So, for most of my life, man, I've been in the music industry, and then when COVID came along and like cleared the dance floors of the world, I pivoted back into the thing that I loved when I was a child. And so for the last 3 years, I've been cybersecurity professional, which is a weird thing to say.
One of the things I want to make you the question is like, you say you start with the music. Like, do you play some instrument or?
Yeah. I started piano when I was 4, and then my mate in like year 2, Alan Jones, he played cello, and I wanted to get out of class as well as it. Like, played cello, got out of class, so I started playing cello, and it turned out I was pretty good at that. And by the time I was like 9 or 10, I think, I was like the lead cellist of the Queensland Youth Orchestra and stuff like this. And so from cello, cello is a really bad instrument to go into high school playing. Like, it's not very cool. So I quit that, started guitar, and started pursuing like the Rockstar lifestyle. And I went okay for a bit, and then discovered electronic music. And that did really well for me. So went to Europe as soon as high school finished. Kind of learned how it's actually done, and then came back to Australia, and I kind of great guns from there, man. But basically, I lived off it for most of my life. So
I have a background also doing electronic music, because the intro of the channel I did by myself, and I have.
It's rad, man. I like
I really like to do music also, because I believe that like also hackers and music, I believe it's very, 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 very close. One of the other things, because maybe you need to relax your mind, something like that, right? And also when you watch movies, or when you watch like Matrix movies, or some movies like Basicon hackers have a very ACO, like very, very, very good music inside of the movie most of the times. That's, I believe, like something very connected to the music and the hacking.
Do you have fun making music kind of wrecked dance floors for you? Like after a certain amount of time of like DJing and like writing tunes, like I'd be on a dance floor trying to enjoy a track, but then I'll get distracted by like trying to figure out how you made that bass sound. Like what oscillator and stuff is he using there? Like, so I think that's why I'm kind of enjoying this whole cybersecurity thing, because it's actually letting me enjoy music again. Like, I've been playing the decks like a madman like the last probably 2 months. I hadn't touched them in ages, so good thing.
One of the things I believe you said is very interesting is the curiosity, right? The curiosity, I believe, is one of the characteristics very important in every hacker. If you need to have the curiosity to know what is happening behind, how it's working that, and maybe that curiosity like brings you to the music and also brings you to the hacking, right? And this curiosity is like bring you to try to understand what is happening behind the scenes and try to broken the things or have another way to think outside of the box. Maybe that's what thing do you like it about hacking is like something like that, right?
Well, my motivation behind everything is I ultimately want to make the world a better place. Like, and I've been given this skill set, I guess, like, or just way of looking at the world. Like, I'm good with technology. I can figure things out. I can manipulate things to make them do what I want them to do rather than what they're made for. Like, so I'll give you a perfect example. Like, so when the COVID hit and the dance floors were emptied, my income just went nothing. It was gone, and I didn't actually know what I was going to do next. And things got really tough, man. Like, I had no money. No, I had to basically choose between paying rent or eating food, and I've never kind of been in that spot before in my life. And I had to go to a soup kitchen and at this place down in St Kilda. And while I was down there, I was like talking to the people that run the place. Like, there's homeless people, and there's actually at this point in time there's like normal kind of people in there as well. And I was talking to the people that run it, and they gave me a couple of meals over about a week. And I promised myself that if there was ever anything I could do to help them out, I would do that. And like, as it turned out, like 3 years later, working for Waterstones, I was in a position to be able to like try and donate some money to them. And that's also the motivation behind the domestic violence thing that I put together with the SS7 stuff. Like, basically it all kind of came together. Like, I can now help this place out there. They're like emergency housing for women who get beaten. So it's like this kismet moment of like serendipitous. So everything kind of just came back around and like, yeah. My hacking isn't about hacking. I don't care about popping boxes and things like that. It's about taking something like, and there were so many smart people and so much amazing technology out there, and rather than using it to make more money, they're making people's lives better. And that's what drives me, man.
Yeah, have many sense what you're talking about, because most of the times I say like cybersecurity or hackers, we are superheroes because we have the chance to get the wrong way, because for us we have the knowledge and the technology to create scams, phishing, or whatever we want to do, because it's very easy for us, like we do every day, right? And on the other hand, we don't take this bad way, and we start to help the people and try to help the companies to have more security, to create content, in my case, for the people to understand the cybersecurity, or in your case also, you have your magazine and you try to help the people to understand and try to create a more secure world, because most of the people don't understand our life today, but day by day, is in internet. You can destroy a family if you have a scam. I know people kill himself or suicide because was scammed. Because it's a shame for the family, maybe lose all the savings of the life or something like that. And some of these kind of things is like destroy my heart, And that's why I say, like, most of the time, like cybersecurity, we are like superheroes because we have the power, but we do it we use for the right way, right? That's why I believe something where you are telling, I try to help the other people have many sense, because a few days ago, you and we were talking on LinkedIn, and you told me, I find some bug here that's so dangerous because we can take the information about many people. Can you help me to report this bug? I was trying to help you too about that. In the same way you did in the right way, it's very easy for you to create a fake account in some blog and post it there and sell it. This information, and you didn't.
No, of course not. That's I'm so frustrated with that. It was, actually, you put it so well when we spoke about it. Like, it was like I felt kind of bad because I approached that who they were, and they seemed like they were going to do something about it. They seemed all positive, and then they just left it, man. And I felt bad, kind of like taking them to like I try to report them to the administrators that you guys do in Spain. Like, they're like, but then you said, what about all those 660,000 people who are, whose account details and social security numbers are out there. Like, I don't know, man. So I think it's different. It's different in the EU because you guys have got really strict, like with the GDPR and all that sort of stuff. You have there's financial things that are, if people don't do it right, then they're liable. Like that's some serious stuff. And I actually thought it'd be a bit more. It'd be easier actually to report an incident. Like I've had 3 failed attempts. Now the first one was just the wrong place because I don't speak Spanish, obviously. The second one is they couldn't accept it because I wasn't reporting a breach that I was in. It's these weird kind of stipulations and stuff. But anyway, we'll get there.
We can talk about only your case, but in my case, for example, I find many vulnerabilities are reported, and it's not fixed. And I know I don't work, but I have many friends in bug bounty, and today is something is happening. Like many companies, like you report a bug, and the company say this is informational. Like it's not informational. If someone can take profit about that and can scam the people. Maybe you have a XSS and I can create in the XSS, I can do a phishing or SSRF where I can take your password or something like that. Like that is information. Like it's information in the good hands, but in the bad hands can be terrible, and that's something like the people don't realize because something you was talking before, like the people is more focused on the company stuff, like GDPR, like all over the lines of the law. But the people is not worried about security, the real security behind of that, right? And something like that can be very frustrating. Can frustrate you like a lot because, like, what is happening in the world, right? I believe that something happens with CrowdStrike, because like many people do the update, and someone told me something very interesting. I was like, okay, but what is most important? Have a blue screen or have a problem with a one day CVE, like is someone hacking your company in the same day? It's like it's a really good question because the difference when you are doing when you are doing update and you fail your system, the problem is from CrowdStrike, and if you are hacked in one day click or something like that, the problem is from your company. Then this is technical stuff about more like companies and governments and how can say like something like that. And something like that is something we are not very mad about that because something you say very interesting. We are more focused on try to help the companies, help the people. I believe that's your day by day, right?
Yeah. See, that's an unfair kind of thing on the like cybersecurity industry because through what we do for companies like they're putting in all the security controls and policies and procedures and pen testing and vulnerability assessment, all that sort of stuff. That like by making those companies more secure, we are actually helping the people. But that it's, I guess what I'm talking about is that this dissemination of knowledge, like that. It's funny that it's like 20 years on and we're still talking about multi-factor authentication. Like as a cybersecurity person, where we love the complex vulnerabilities and like just the crazy stuff, but 95% of the time it's someone who's just clicked a phishing link.
And 70%, right? And 70% of the attacks of the companies is in phishing. 70%. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. Anyway, I want to change a little bit the topic out. We can talk about a little bit of how you started in cybersecurity. What is your first field you started and where do you start?
Okay, so when I decided to actually have a crack at it, there was a certificate 4 course that was being offered for free here in Australia. So I decided, went in, because they promised like when you finished it, you'd be employable, ready to rumble. Can you get in there? And I get in there, and it's super easy. Like it's like way down low. It was like the first iteration of this course. And I also figured out there was like 18,000 people coming out the other end of this course, like got it across Australia, all looking for the same, like however many jobs. I kind of realized that I needed to do the same thing I did in the music industry, is like differentiate myself. So I just went to town on everything I could learn, man. Every free course, every free webinar, like anything that had a certificate attached to it, I did. Like everything that basically a non-American citizen can do from the DoD. I did Splunk stuff. I did Attack IQ stuff. I was just learning as much as I could. And then I made a mistake. For my first role, I chose a contract position. So I worked remote for a company in the States, which I don't recommend to anyone because I think your first role, you'd like to ask lots of questions, figure out the ropes. Like doing it by yourself is a bit tough, but it was definitely a learning curve. It was good. It was good experience. Just get on the tools, actually get in the trenches rather than just doing educational stuff. And then Audison's came along. I got a role as the stock analyst, and off to the blue team. But my goal has always been to be on the red team or do research. Actually, I enjoy the research stuff. But so unfortunately, my daytime job doesn't actually. All the stuff that I research and stuff that you see on LinkedIn is it's just off my own back, but it's just stuff that I'm interested in, like the RF stuff. What am I doing at the moment? Hacking planes. That's my project at the moment. But just to show, like holes in security, like holes in the screening processes for people getting on planes. I lost some nail scissors. So I went up to B-sides and with my SDR, didn't even get a second glance, and I was trying to I'm exploring what I could do with a little bit of ingenuity and software defined radio. So
inside of the cybersecurity, what is your favorite place to be? Like, do you like more like hardware hacking?
I love rabbit holes, man. I like to find it being like SS7. Love SS7. It's just because it's like my holy grail, that being able to intercept phone calls and send text messages wherever, and it's a network inside a network. It's got all the good bits to it, but that's been kind of my fascination for quite some time. And then it's kind of a perfect kind of microcosm of what the entire like cybersecurity thing is. It's like this protocol, like this stack that was like, I think it's 1974 it was developed in, and we're still using it now. It's still like the backbone of like most of the mobile network. Like it hasn't changed. It's still it's trust based. It's like you know each other. No need for encryption or anything like that. Yeah, happy days. Because it's inside a nice, it's an enclosed network. It's good. But as the barrier to entry is dropped, and so kind of regretting that decision. But it's I love it. Telecommunication networks is probably my favorite. I know the least about it. I've never done any work in it, but I've spent like hundreds of hours just digging through papers and like spinning up like my own like core networks, 3G, 4G. Just love it, man.
How many hours do you dedicate, or to the week? We can say weekly.
Probably about 26 hours a day. I probably reckon.
Can be.
Like I work all day in the SOC. I love it. I'm not like I'm not showboating or just trying to be a cyber guy. Like if I could turn this around now on my screen here, there's my SIM boxes tore from B-sides. There's I basically built a whole like flight deck. So all your comm stuff like your GPS, ADSB, like collision avoidance, all that, because no one's going to let me get on their Boeing and try and hack it. I have to build my own. So I did that over the weekend. But I just love it, man. I love the challenge of you don't have this thing. You've got this box here that's pretty cool. Maybe you could build it in that. So let's figure it out.
One of the things I really like to do also is like, and then trying to study, but the same, I have the same problem like you. I have a limited time to study, but one of the things that I am very, very, very fascinated and I want to study about that is like GPS hacking, because I believe if you work in satellites or something like that, you try to hacking that. I believe it's a field like not many people is taking care. And it's very interesting to hacking because there you have many protocols and many things you can get profit about that. And I believe it's a point of view like not many people is hacking, but you have a very interesting information about that. And I believe it's something you are studying today, like RF frequencies and as SIM cards and something like that, right?
Yeah. Okay. So with the GPS hacking, this is very new for me. So I basically built a tool to do this paper that I'm working on. So it has it has all the ADSB spoofing stuff. It'll have the GPS jamming and also GPS spoofing as well. Like I'm trying to figure out what the best combination is of those things to basically either blind or make a aircraft disappear. Like if you because there's so many redundancies, like it's yeah. So I'm basically getting back to GPS. So I'm just learning the ropes in that. Like it's easy. It's really easy to spoof the signal. It's really easy to jam because it's it's very low power coming from the satellite, so you don't really need much wattage. But it's definitely so many things rely on it. Like if you look into, there's a guy, I can't remember what his name is. He's an English guy. He's who works at Apple, but he's a hacker too. But he's a pilot, and he was talking about the link between like GNSS, GPS, and ADSB, and in all the new like Cessnas or whatever they fly these days. Basically, it's all so interconnected that if GPS goes out, everything goes out. Like it's tied to everything. Like there are some like other constellations that kind of do that global positioning stuff, but because of how cheap the components and stuff have become for GPS hardware and all that sort of stuff, it's so ingrained in everything. Like it's like the SS7 thing, man. It's a old ass protocol, but it's everywhere. Like if it falls over, or you find a way to manipulate it in a way that can make you or someone else money. Well, it's an interesting one.
Something you said is very interesting. Like today, everything have GPS, right? Like maybe a freezer has a GPS. GPS and artificial intelligence, sure, 100%. But one of the things like you say, it's very interesting. Most of the cars today you have GPS signal, like for driving, for artificial driving, or maybe autonomous driving. That's the right word. Like what happens if you manipulate the signal? What happens if you are working or you try to change the signal about you can create accidents? You can create a total mess in the city. Imagine someone is doing, or maybe some countries is doing a GPS hammer, like stronger one, and destroy your country. Because today, like taxis here in Spain is working with that. Like around the world, it's working with that. You have autonomous cars today for taxis. You have can be a totally mess. You can destroy the city.
Yep, so destroy the city. But you know that GPS is often used for the timing for the mobile phones. So if you jam the GPS signal, mobile phones go out too. So not only have you've got you're crashing the cars, there's no communications. It's an interesting one, man. It's not what I'm not too deep into it yet. I'd like to be able to tell you more, say, hey, this is what the problems are, and this is what can happen. But I know what I can do. I know what I can potentially do. But this is why so I built this thing, this flight deck thing, and that's cool. I can see the effects of my the ADSB and messing with the GPS and stuff like that. Piece of hardware or actual unit will do when you start messing with the signal that it relies on. It's totally different kettle of fish, man. Like I don't know, I don't like people. Well, it can be kind of scary for some people. Like the fact that I was telling my mum about, yeah, mum, I'm going to hack airplanes, and she's like, but can't be interesting. She's like, I told her exactly what it was. It's like this little box. I can jam the communications, and I can do this and I can do that. And she started about getting all, not about me, but just the fact that someone could walk onto a plane and do this stuff. Like we have this weird role where, because that stuff fascinates me, man. And I just want to tell everyone about it, but they get this glazed eye thing, yeah, okay, Ryan, yep, no, yep, that's enough, mate. This role, like it's protecting or finding things that are these dangerous issues. Half the stuff I've just told you now, I haven't told my missus because it would stress her out. Like, well, as a cybersecurity professional, we have to hold the stuff that we know, deliver a positive message to like the people we know and stakeholders and things like that, I guess. But I don't know. I'm not sure where. I don't know. Like, I think what's the dumpster fire for you? What's the whole? If something went down, like, what would be the scariest thing to go down for you? Like, would it be the phones? Would it be power? Would it be the internet? But so airplanes falling out of the sky. That's as we found out the other day when Microsoft went down the blue screen, nothing really fell out of the sky, which was good. People were late, but I don't think planes falling out of the sky is unless there's
No, I did it.
EMP or something like that. But I think like if you think about like critical infrastructure attacks and stuff like that, like it was about 2 years ago. These people were talking about killware. Did you ever see that coming through LinkedIn? I think they were just trying to chop the ransomware thing, and like, these people were spruiking killware, going like cyber attacks have finally become deadly. Cyber attacks have always had the potential to cause massive chaos, man. Like right from the get go, like the wank worm that knocked out the space shuttle launch, stuff like that. I don't know what it is about, but we've never really seen what the true potential of like a bad cyber attack could be. So I think my goal of like finding these scary things and figuring out ways to fix them is
Have sense.
I know
Totally have
that's
sense.
the problem, man. I'm sorry I went off on a tent there, man. But
Yeah, but you say something like that most of the people don't realize about that. Like, it's like how important it can be some small protocols and small stuff. The people don't realize how impact every day in your daily basics, you know? Because in your day by day, you are using like a lot of technology and a lot of protocols, maybe most of them like from old school, we can say, and no one is taking care about that because it's working and it's useful. But what happens if someone trying to get some benefits about that, or maybe today it's happening, you know, maybe someone is taking benefits about that, because many times we don't know what is happening with the because most of the companies like it's trying to find the way the hackers work, but doesn't mean that's the way of the delinquents are working, you know. And that's important. That's important point of view, because we need to take care about that, because one of the things like cybersecurity, one of the things I was talking with another guy here is one of my friends, and he was come to the channels about artificial intelligence and how dangerous can be in the bad hands, you know, not only for the point of view of the maybe most of the people believe from artificial intelligence, you think about ChatGPT and this stuff, but this is not the real artificial intelligence. We are talking about artificial intelligence for missiles like weapons and GPS and many stuff. Then you can do this manipulation, or maybe you can change the algorithm. You can, for example, in Spain, one of the things we are doing is buying the technology from Israel. That's very dangerous, because if the technology comes from Israel, it's not yours, you know. And that's something like very dangerous. And today, maybe that never happened. But what happens if you have a war? You know, I know how your weapons are working. And the thing is, like, I don't know only how your weapons are working. It's like I can sell the information about how your weapons are working to the enemy. You know, and that's dangerous stuff, and the people is not realizing about that. You know, and that's something I believe is important. That's why you are trying to find, and that's you're trying to find solutions, or trying to difficult to put your mind in that point of view. And that totally, in my point of view, have totally sense. You know, because if we are trying to, in your point of view, try to create a better world, have sense totally. Because what happens if someday someone take benefits about that? You know, I believe it's very important. But also, Ryan, something I want to talk is like you was talking about you work in the SOC, like a SOC analyst, right? And many people believe like this is an entry job or something like that. But I'm not agree with that, you know, because the good thing of SOC analyst is you can understand and you can see how many ways the delinquents are working. And if you use this for learning, can be very, very interesting. Like, I don't know if you do this in your day by day.
My passion is red team, but like, and that was like studying the OCP and things like this. And I actually found that was really useful, because having that as hacker mindset, when I went into the SOC, I could see, I kind of picked up on things that some of the blue team guys didn't, like the you know, I might be looking into a certain kind of attack, and then maybe I don't know what those artifacts are that like the blue team, like what I'm looking for, but I'll see like, okay, so what can we use for example? Like the map.
And take away the data because you have NDA.
Oh, sorry. Because I see patterns. As you can see, I move around a lot. I'm a bit, those patterns and stuff that I've kind of ingrained into my head, like doing some attacks and then doing them again and figuring out other ways to do them. Like, those things come out when I'm looking at the logs. Like if I see like a Mac thing has done a weird kind of pre-install, and it's like, oh, where have I seen that before? And then it comes back to me, oh, okay, that's that 222 the pre-install CV that came out. Like having that red team kind of mentality, I think really helps on probably the tier 1 and tier 2 part of the stock, like probably a bit beyond just being a ticket monkey, but you know, if you can see past like the minutia that comes through, man. I don't have you worked on a stock before?
No, I didn't. I didn't have work in the stock because I work as a sysadmin from the beginning. That means I do the architecture, and this architecture need to be secure, but not directly. I never had a opportunity to work in the stock analyst before.
Very repetitive job, especially if the tuning and stuff like that, right? But getting back to the like with, I felt that the red team stuff has really helped me on the stock, man.
But also give you the opportunity to learn a lot. I think so. It's the opportunity to, and also in your free time, you do the experimentation about what is happening behind the scenes, and and something like that. That's something that you are doing, right? Like you are learning your day by day, and after that, in your free time, you try to emulate or try to find solutions or try to study about what is happening behind, right? And if you are curious, this is the main point of if you want to be a hacker, you need to be curious. This is your preferred work, at least for the beginning. After, I just say like when you have more experience and you are working more on that, maybe you can be like a cybersecurity researcher, something like that, right? But at that moment, I believe it's a good point, right?
Were you always were you always curious, like since small? Like it's not something you just go like, oh, now I'm curious about cybersecurity. Like it's everything. Like it's just that the reason I'm drawn to it is because curiosity. Man, like cybersecurity is built for people who are curious. Like there's always something new. There's always a new thing. There's always like something else to sink your teeth into. Like it's not a problem, but like I'm interested in so many things. Like if I just stuck to what was like blue team or red team, or it's like reading books, but only reading, I don't know, bicycle magazines or something. Like it's just there's this whole, this like cybersecurity is this, and just information security is this massive knowledge, like pool of knowledge, like that excites me, man. Like just so much to learn out there. But every time you get an answer to a question, it just makes 25 more questions, and that's happy as a big in shit, man. Like it's just like I guess I'm an exception to the rule. Like what it does for my head, like I find calm. Like right now, I'm like words in my head are going like so fast I can hardly get them out to you. But like I'm thinking about the like wanting to tell you about the like I make the magazine. I make tools. I make like bespoke offensive hardware. Like not for any particular reason. Not just because it just floats my boat, man. It just like the challenge of it. It's like puzzles. Every day is a new puzzle. Like I don't do it for work or to get jobs. I just do it because, and I dig it. Like
it's a passion. It's a passion. Something. It's a passion inside of you. And something. It's funny. You told me like before. Like you said, when the curiosity starts when you are younger and the security starts everywhere. Like I can give you one example. I remember when I was younger, or like 7 years old, 8 years old. I remember have a cola machine, the typical machine, like where you buy cola and whatever. And I remember I start to study like what happens if I press 2 buttons at the same time, right? And and then like how I can get profit or how I can get benefit of the machine. And I remember like if I hold the 2 buttons at the same time and I put a coin, and after that I remove the buttons and I take the cola, I get 2 colas. This is with 7 years old, and it's like
bad one with the Macca straw, like the pick up the phone, you put the money in, and then you put the Macca straw just through just above where the refund slot is. The coin would drop back through. Oh, it's good. But it was innocent back then. It's still innocent now. Like I think hacking and hackers get a really bad rap, like because we all like it doesn't matter if you're like an ethical hacker or you're a SOC guy or whatever. We're all using the same technology, but just in different ways for different ends. And I think using the word hacker as a derogatory thing or something that is a way of looking at the world, man. I think so. It's about taking. I think it's actually a really optimistic way to look at the world because it's take what you have and you make it do what you want. Like it's not like you've got this, you need something else, but you make this work. Like it's very pragmatic, I guess. Maybe it's a very Oh, that's how I find it anyway. Like paperclip ban and
Exactly, like Ryan, you mean like the same tool in the different hands can do different things, right?
well, that's it. It's all about intent, and that's the. I think this. I'm sorry, I'm going to swing into AI here, but I think this is the thing with AI. Like AI is amazing, man. Well, machine learning, which is what we've got now. Its ability to like streamline and make these things that took ages before, like just so easy, so quick. Like I can basically prompt my way through I don't know, what I made recently. A voice activated thing to do, like basic assessment stuff. But anyway, as AI gets better, and we have to do less, but we are more in charge of, I guess, the decisions that AI makes or what we use the AI for. Ethics and stuff like that are going to become like a very important, a bit more important than they are now. Like that, it's more ethical use of AI. We hear it here and there, but as it becomes so prevalent that like people are losing jobs, and I'm pretty sure everything that gets done on that stock 5 years there won't be people doing this role. Like it'll chat GPT-6 or something.
But Ryan, you say that word, I really hate it. I hate the word like ethical hackers, like because hacker is ethical already. Why we need to put ethical? Why hackers? You know, we have black hat hackers. You know, I believe the other people is not hackers, it's delinquents. That's the main difference. That's why something I really like to study is unethical hacking. Like why you study unethical hacking? Because my last 20 years was studying like unethical hacking. That's what, because the cyber delinquents is working unethical, and you need to understand what the people are doing for if you want to stay safe. It's like if you try to pay, for example, I can give you a very easy example. If you go to the grocery store and you pay with the car and you buy your food, that's that. But you need to start to see what unethical or maybe like delinquents are working for. Understand how you can take care of your company, right? Because if you never learn, you never know how you can take care of your company. Like why that's why I like to be like unethical hacker, because I like to study what other people are doing, right? Like, okay, you mean like, for example, I can give you one example. You mean the same example you put before, like, okay, you mean like if I put the coin only at the beginning and like I light it up, I get the things, or maybe how I can buy a fake cards, how I can buy, where I can buy, how I can use it. You know, if you never learn like that, you know, you can be hacker or you can be cybersecurity, but that's not true, because the unethical hackers are doing that. You know, today, like phishing is the 70% of the scams. We have a very huge problem with carding. It's a huge problem in the community, the worldwide problem. Like carding, like many pet companies, is like you can buy cards and fake cards in Telegram groups and everywhere. You know, and we need to understand what happened behind. You know, we need to understand what the people are doing with that. We need to understand why you need a fake card. Okay, but you got a fake card, but what are you gonna do with that? For what? How do you use it? How do you take profit about that? Like, okay, because if I have only the card, I cannot do nothing. I need a CVV, and if I have the CVV, what I can do with that? You know, maybe you can buy Bitcoin with that. Okay, but if I buy Bitcoin, everyone can know where is my wallet number. You know, you need to understand what the people are doing, like white, or I don't know how to say really in English, like whitening the money or put the money in the market again. It's like we need to understand what the cyber delinquents are working, or the delinquents are working, because if we need to stay only here in the white hat hacking or ethical hacking, never we understand how do we need to take care about that other stuff, right? And that's what something like my point of view, same you said before, because one of my main reasons is not only hacking, it's like to understand what is happening behind the scenes, to try to take care about that, you know, something like that we can say. And have been sense what you are saying, like, for example, like how the people are using today, because one of the things I was studying like a few days ago is create fake voices, you know, and replicate your voice. And I try to use that voices, you know, something I have with my family already is like a secure sentence, you know, where that's something we need to start to doing everywhere, because every day we have more common phishing where the people is calling you and say, hey, you know, I am your mom, this is a different phone, la la la. It's impossible to understand who is the real one. Then we need to start to thinking about that, because delinquency is not working in the far away. It's not ethical.
if I could tell you right now how to clone a credit card, get all the details you need, and go and like how it was done, how easy it is, where to get things, do a detailed tutorial, put that up online. Would that be a good thing or a bad thing?
Dangerous. Depends on Hans.
Why? Why is it dangerous though? Because I think that what makes things dangerous is the not knowing. Like, if you don't know how these attacks are done, how can you protect against them? No, if like with the you were talking about the voice thing just then, like I played around with the voice cloning thing, and it took me about 25 minutes to basically create our Prime Minister's voice, giving Hack Magazine a good review. Like, and then I used that same techniques to basically beat a voice print ID thing that is ubiquitous across our government sector. Like, I put it up and I showed everyone how to do it, showed how easy it is, because people, if you don't know, like if you just even in a, like not to like the general public, because that would be terrifying, but the security scene, like, and for, I guess, for anyone in the public who's interested, but knowing what's possible and knowing how it's done, I think the whole free access to information thing is the key to ultimately to security. Like, secrets is what make things dangerous, you know?
Yeah, but in this world, Ryan, one of the problems is we have is like, you can put a video in YouTube about how you can kill an animal and how you do everything you want with the animal, but you cannot put a tutorial about how you can use a fake credit card. That's a problem. And I believe but some people can take benefits of that. But if you don't know how to protect yourself, also it's important.
If the knowledge was out there everywhere, like you just type into Google how to rob a bank. Do you think more people have robbed banks? I don't think so. I think it's
depends.
I don't know. I think open access to information is the most important thing. Like, I think knowing what's actually going on rather than what you're being told is going on. Like, this like the whole continuous security validation, where you don't believe what the vendors say, but you test you've got this vendor product set up and it's awesome. That's what they tell you. It's great. Run threat emulation against that all the time. Continuous validation of those security controls, because you can't believe the vendor hype. You need that. Like, if you've got that solid piece of knowledge because you've actually you've learned it yourself and it's there, that the evidence is there. Like, it's the same with, okay, so, well, I don't know, let's use like process injection or something like that. Say no one knew about process injection. Like, knowing that that's possible, knowing how it's done, and knowing what the indicators of that are, that's a whole section of attacks that we can now protect against, like credit cards. You just say there's some new thing, they've managed to clone the cards. It's super easy because they've got access to everything. Like, if we know about that, we can defend against it. It's like, you can't defend against the boogeyman, like, what is the boogeyman? So I feel very strongly about open access to information. I think it's basic human right, really. That's same with privacy, but yeah, we haven't got there yet.
Totally agree. And one thing, Ryan, we are arriving to the end of the podcast today. But one of the things I want to talk about you is like, what do you think about the future of the cybersecurity, or maybe also how do you see your future inside of cybersecurity, or everything together? I know it's a great question and difficult to answer.
Like, the music industry was a good one for me. I'm kind of a square peg round hole kind of guy. So adapting to the whole corporate environment has been a bit of a tough call for me. But my hope is I want to really start focusing on rolling out some of these technologies that I've come up with some people that are actually go like, that's cheap, efficient, they can hopefully save some lives. Like, I'll leave all the PIM and all that sort of stuff, and the access management and secure architecture, I'll leave that to someone else. I want to do things that can potentially save lives or help people save lives, like more efficient communications, cheaper emergency communications. Maybe even like waves or emerging nations to embrace, some kind of, I'm not sure, I haven't figured it out yet, but I don't, there's so much potential to do good out there. Like, I was at B-Sides a couple of weeks ago, delivering my presentation like this, like mock speed, blah, 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 like, it's terrible, but had good content, people liked it, but I looked out the room, man, and then just these smartest people I've ever seen. Like, I've seen some of the presentations by this guy and this woman here and that. Amazing, like just the brains trust in this room. Like, I don't know, if we all got together for 1 hour of everyone's time, like the stuff that people could come up with, like to actually implement change, not just, oh, we should do this thing that create real world solutions from technology that actually start that Baltimore utopian world rolling,
Totally. And one of I forgot to mention, I forgot to ask you a question before. It's like, how is the job market there? Because I have many friends telling me like, oh, you need to move to Australia. You have a lot of opportunities there, and Australia is a great country because you have almost everything. And I was living in Thailand, and I really like this side of the world. But how is the market there today? Yes. It's like it's very easy to find a job, or it's complicated because
too easy, buddy. Entry level jobs are pretty hard to come across. There's some kind of happening here and there. I guess it's hiring slowing down a bit, but we are and have always been. I'll probably get murdered for saying this, but a couple of years behind the UK and Europe. Like the trends that kind of go through Europe and stuff get here a little bit slower because we've been hit a lot with some big breaches lately. We've kind of realized that we were a soft target. So people are kind of scampering to like get things ship shape, I guess. But we've got some good initiatives happening here. I guess the market, people need cybersecurity. There's the big companies everywhere. The market's not really my strong suit, mate.
You know why I tell you, because I was living in Finland for the last year, and many people there is like believing like it's very easy to find a job in Finland. But if you go deeper inside of most of the people are having the issues. Or what is the main issue? The truth is very hard to find a job here in Finland. And many people believe like, oh, wow, Finland is like country of the hacking or the cybersecurity, or because you have many Linux come from Finland, right? And you have many technology companies there around. Many people believe like very easy to find a job. But the truth behind of that is like the truth is not very easy. Most of the people, very talented people, never find a job. Only the people find a job is not well paid because you are a foreigner. And it's very the real truth behind of that is like the numbers of unemployed people is not the truth, because many people is like not on that. And I found many people very, very talented around the world working in coding, cybersecurity, trying to find a job for maybe 1 year to 1 year and a half, trying to find a job. Sorry? No, because here in Spain it's totally different. Here in Spain, we are trying to find a professionals day by day. Like many companies from around the globe, like from the United States and many companies from around, is trying to find professionals from Spain, because the good thing in Spain is a cheap way to find professionals in Europe. If you go to check the hacker one last year, one of the hackers wins was like Spain team, and this year Spain is the second one. The first one, I believe, was I don't remember what, but anyway, in Spain we have a very, 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 very good cybersecurity professional, maybe one of the best of Europe. The reason of what happens that is, first of all, like Spanish is a very huge language. That means like many people have the possibility to share the knowledge. And that's very important, because also Italians have the same feeling like Spanish. Like Spanish, the good thing is of Spanish people or Latinos or something like that, we have the possibility to think outside of the box. And that's very important if you are a hacker. And you don't see this in other countries, because maybe one of the things I'm feeling when I was living or working in north companies, or maybe northeast European companies, like is very strength people, it's like following the line and don't have the possibility to think like, and what happens if you put a 0 here? All that it just start like, no, this is not possible, but I want to try. Yeah, but if you do, you do a buffer overflow, and not many people realize about that just because you cannot do it. But one of the things of the people like you can find these profiles around the world, but maybe in Spain happens it's more often, or maybe we have the needed. One of the things incredible in Spain is that we have many people with the OSTP. That's crazy. I don't know why. Here it's like many people want to get this certification, and many people have OSTP, but it's small company. And one of the things, like many American companies trying to find professionals in Spain, the main problem in Spain is not many people speak in English, right? But anyway, today in Spain, it's very, very easy to find a job in cybersecurity, at least if you are a junior or something like that. But if you have experience, it's not complicated. But the problem is today, most of the young people have OSCP, have CVs, have bags or Hall of Fames, and have a lot of experience with 20 years old. And that people don't want to be a SOC analyst, because the people want to work as a pen tester because have experience, right? And that's so complicated. That's why many people, it's hard to find a job. And that the only problem is, like, if you don't speak in English, you are fucked up, because you cannot work for international companies. But the good thing is, like, many international companies from United States is trying to find professionals in Spain, and that's good for the market. But it's not the same happening in Finland, because if for the same job with different salary, maybe you find a professional here in Spain for pen tester, maybe you need to pay 3,000 euros monthly. And maybe if you want to find the same professional in Finland, you need to pay 7,000, 8,000, right? Then that's the main problem.
It might be good when it became here, because we're so isolated, we don't have the good choice of like cherry picking for cheaper workers. Like there are obviously work visas and stuff that give it out, but I think that may be why also our wages are a little bit, like, well, not a little bit, depends who you work for, lower than say Europe or the States. But there's lots of roles, man. There's so much stuff like going on. Like I think they're having trouble finding people with the right experience. So as different as the kind of the whole Australian cybersecurity industry matures, like the kind of people they're looking for is also maturing. So like people with a red teaming or more advanced kind of purple teaming or like risk management kind of things, rather than just GRC stuff, like stuff that really specific to like OT or I don't know. Like, I'm not, man. That's way above my pay grade. I speculate on these things, but it's I think it's the scene here is healthy, man. Like there's lots of things we could improve. There's definitely some things that I don't agree with. But I'm only 3 years in, mate. Give me a little bit of time, and I'll start making some changes. But yeah, so you should come out here, mate. You'll like it. Nice and warm.
Not only for me, because I have many friends from India, from United Kingdom, people from Europe is trying to say, maybe they have the possibility, because I'm getting, not my case, but I'm seeing on the internet many offers from Australia lately. And one of the people is like, most of the people believe maybe it can be a scam, because, you fly around the whole globe to arrive to the opposite side of the globe to go to find a job, and maybe the scam can be dangerous, right? That's why many people is afraid. That's why I make you this question, because some people want to go there, but it's afraid, right?
So what do you think is a scam?
Yeah, because I have some experience, not in my case, but I have friends of mine have the experience of fake jobs, and when you arrive there, it's not the same salary, it's not the same job position, and it's like, okay, you are flying there, you leave your country, you leave your family, or maybe you leave your house and you leave everything, and you arrive there, it's not the same money you was talking about, and you cannot do nothing because you are in another country, or maybe you stay there for 6 months and after you need to back to your country, and because maybe the same you mentioned before, you have a problem but with your company, but okay, you have a problem with your company, but you can find another job easy, you have the chance to stay in the country, right? But if you see, for example, I know people in Finland move there for go to a job for 6 month job maybe, and after 6 months it's impossible to find another job. I need to go back to the country, and when you move to another country, it's so hard after come back. Not for everything, like it's hard to move out and it's hard to come back because you need to leave all your stuff. That's a complicated thing, and that's why I make you the question, because many people is like dreaming with the possibility to start working in somewhere, and some people say, maybe Australia can be a good place because it's looking for professionals, and whatever. That's why I come to the question. And Ryan, I don't have more questions for you for today. I believe we have a very nice conversation. It's a pleasure to give you here. And anyway, if someone has some questions or whatever, I put your links in the description below. And also you can put the comments if someone wants to make some questions here in the comment. And and whatever you want. So I believe the people can contact with you, right?
Check out the magazine. Send me some articles. Thank you for having me, brother. It's been an experience. It's been a very long weekend, and man, looking forward to making some webinars.
Awesome, man. Keep in contact. Bye bye.